Welcome to European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on competition issues in the digital economy.
Is data really the new oil? And if so, how do we regulate this market and ensure a level playing field?
The global debate on the extent to which current competition policy rules are sufficient to deal with the fast-moving digital economy has never been more pertinent, but it's a hard nut to crack. Stay with us.
The world is changing at a phenomenal speed, and nothing illustrates this better than looking at the changes in rankings of the world's largest companies. So while 10 years ago, 5 of the 10 largest companies in the world were oil companies, today the top positions are occupied by internet giants like Apple, Google and Amazon.
Now, this technology-based transition towards intangibles is spurring hot global debates about how to regulate this fast-moving digital economy, especially how to tax it and how to ensure fair competition between the different players.
As Commissioner Vestager recently said, one of the main challenges for the future of the EU's digital economy is the dominance of the tech monoliths and their power over smaller players in the market.
And there are rising concerns that this trend is the sign of digital markets shifting towards a winner-take-all dynamic, where a few super companies can tip the market in their favour, becoming very difficult to dethrone and distorting competition.
So what makes a digital economy so distinct? Stay with us.
Well, first of all, the extreme returns to scale, as the cost of production of digital services and goods is often disproportionately low considering the large number of users, and although this is not exclusive to the digital economy, it has a much more pronounced effect.
The digital economy is also characterised by strong network externalities, meaning the convenience of using a product, a service or a technology increases with the number of users that adopt it. Consequently, it may not be enough for a new player to offer a better quality and or lower prices to convince users of an established company to switch to a new platform. Users will tend to stick to the existing network even if the new rival is objectively superior.
And thirdly, there's the role of data. The increasing digitalisation of societies has made it possible for companies to collect, store and use large amounts of data, which is a crucial input for many online services, production processes and logistics, making it a critical element of the value chain of many industries.
Therefore, the ability to use data to develop new products and services is an important competitive parameter, with considerable consequences for today's businesses.
Indeed, and we're talking big amounts of data. In 2016, IBM noted that 90% of all the data in the world today had been created in the last 2 years alone, and this increase is bound to accelerate. So is data the new oil?
I guess, considering its economic importance, we could say so. Concern is also rising regarding competition in data-intensive markets. As the next technological revolution will most likely centre around artificial intelligence, the companies best placed to take advantage may well be today's big players, as they already possess the data needed for these new technologies to thrive, which could create even more insurmountable barriers.
That's right. On the other hand, defenders of the status quo argue that being a big company today is no guarantee of remaining a big company in the future because the digital economy is very dynamic.
They also maintain that data have no intrinsic value. It's only when data can be used to solve specific problems that data becomes valuable. And to get there, serious investment, innovation and know-how is needed.
So I guess the question is, could data be managed in a way that ensures fair competition?
Well, one of the possible ways to do this is to regulate the sharing of data. As long as privacy and security are safeguarded, sharing data may allow companies to come up with new or improved goods and services, and to ensure that the algorithms that determine many aspects of our lives are based on broader, more meaningful basis.
Actually, the relatively short history of the digital economy indicates that preventing data portability and interoperability, without which there can't be any data sharing, creates barriers to market entry and limits competition. So maybe, for the common good, these could be enforced through common standards and sector-specific regulations.
Well, I wish there was a simple answer, but it's not clear yet to what extent data portability could be the solution to competition concerns in digital markets, notably because their cost structure often requires strong economies of scale and network externalities may continue to prevent consumers from switching between competitors, even if data could be easily shared between them.
So while the risks of policymaking in this field are generally well known, and centre around the need to protect privacy, particularly where personal data are involved, and to prevent the collusive aspects of data sharing, there is at present no global model to follow.
That's right. However, it's worth noting that the EU has taken a number of important steps to unlock data markets through modern user-centred laws such as the General Data Protection Regulation. It also introduced new laws which facilitate access to data and its movement across borders through the regulations on the reuse of public information and the free flow of data.
As a result, the delicate balance between safeguarding public interest and encouraging fair competition and innovation seems to have been maintained so far, even if the Commission's watchful eye over data markets will continue to be necessary, especially given their economic might.
You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.